The portal takes him to Pentagon, the capital of the Aeroth Kingdom, a city where the 5 magic towers form a pentagon with the castle at its center. Eugene is in a floating car, soaring over the city. He's been to Aeroth before, but it's very different from what he saw 300 years ago. Aeroth is the only city that keeps its warp gate in the sky. They use floating stations to symbolize their excellence in magic. Back in the vehicle, the city guide emphasizes how magnificent the metropolis is, saying that the floating views are a vital part of Aeroth's culture. The guide adds that the city has 15 floating stations, all of them created by the wise Sienna. He is about to explain the main landmarks in the city, but Eugene interrupts him, saying that he's interested in visiting Sienna's mansion. The guide compliments his choice since, besides the mansion, the other 2 main attractions are the magic towers and the nighttime view. He starts explaining that 300 years ago, Sienna became the youngest magic tower master in history after returning from the demon realm, which is why she has a statue in the Green Magic Towers Square. The mansion where Eugene wants to go was the place where Sienna lived until she departed 200 years ago. Eugene asks if anyone knows where she went, but the guide only says that many mages tried to track her down, but sadly no one was able to find her whereabouts. The guide adds that he has a theory that Sienna went to Helmuth, the demon realm. He believes so because when she disappeared, it marked the 100th year since she left behind Hamel's body and returned from the demon world. She wanted to avenge her fallen companion, and that's why she wanted to leave. Full of admiration for Sienna, the guide mentions that Hamel had a crush on her and even confessed his feelings when he was on the verge of death. This statement infuriates Eugene, who demands the guide stop spreading lies with a menacing tone. But he quickly calms down, aware that he's the only one who knows the real story. The guide quickly picks up on the atmosphere, commenting that Eugene must dislike the romantic tale about Hamel and Sienna. He says there are more theories about what happened to her. Some believe that since Sienna was against dark magic and the construction of the Dark Tower, a group of violent dark mages decided to eliminate her. Getting angry again, Eugene says it's impossible that those lowly dark mages could even harm Sienna. However, Eugene considers that maybe a demon king could have been responsible. The Dark Tower acts as a connection to Helmuth, and perhaps Sienna's existence was an obstacle for them, one that needed to be removed. The floating car finally lands, and Eugene stands in front of the last known place where Sienna resided. Eugene is surprised by the large number of people gathered outside the mansion, and the guide explains that they are students preparing for the tower's recruitment test. The reason why they stay outside is because the entrance fee is very high, to which Eugene asks why, and the guide replies that it's simply because people are willing to pay it. Everything is driven by the legend that says if you pray in front of Sienna's portrait in the central hall, you will pass the tower recruitment exam. They finally reach the entrance, and the guide hands a black card to the guards. Upon realizing that a member of the Lionheart family is present, they immediately open the mansion's doors and let him in. The guide tells Eugene that he'll wait for him outside, and for now, he should enjoy the view of the mansion. The door closes, and Eugene stands in the entryway, excited to see how Sienna used to live. Eugene is walking through the mansion, amazed by its size and the fact that Sienna lived there for 100 years. We are transported 300 years into the past, to a moment when Sienna asked Hamel about his future plans while inside a dungeon. Hamel counters by asking why she's bringing that up all of a sudden, to which she replies that he's still in his prime, and it would be natural to seek happiness once their mission is complete. Hamel continues wrapping his bandages, saying that he never gave it much thought. While pointing at a sleeping Moron, she tells Hamel that she heard Moron wants to become a king. Hamel laughs upon hearing that, wondering how someone could become a king just by wanting it. With a melancholic gaze, she tells him to let it be. After all, everyone deserves to dream. Hamel gets perplexed by her expression, even thinking that she might be drunk. Just repeating her words in his mind makes him shiver from the cringe. Sienna gets angry. She's being serious for once, and he's making fun of her. Hamel doesn't care and asks if she has any plans herself. Sienna is taken aback. She wasn't expecting to share her thoughts. Finally, she opens up and reveals that she wants to get married, have children, and eventually become a grandmother. This memory crosses Eugene's mind when he finds Sienna's portrait in one of the mansion's hallways. Eugene thinks that she deserved to meet a good man, start a family, and live peacefully, but can't figure out why she chose to live alone for a century. Unconsciously, his hand starts reaching toward the picture until a guard suddenly appears and yells that touching is not allowed. Eugene gets annoyed for a moment but decides to continue his search. Now he heads toward the library in the basement. He arrives and starts checking the books on the shelves, hoping to find any kind of clue. But again, the guard appears and yells that he can't touch the books, frustrating Eugene once more. He then recalls the moment he found his old necklace in Vermouth's vault and how his gaze was drawn to it. He starts wondering if, like Tempest, the necklace recognized his soul and decided to show up. If that's the case, Someone must have intervened in his reincarnation, and if by any chance that person was Sienna, she would have left him something. After checking the entire mansion, Eugene returns to look at Sienna's portrait. He explored every room but couldn't find any clues. His frustration grows. He doesn't even know what he's supposed to be searching for. Eugene decides to focus on his own matters. If Sienna truly wanted to tell him something, she should have left the message in a clear place. Without any information, there's nothing he can do. Eugene glances around and notices the guard is not watching. He uses the chance to flip Sienna's portrait and dares her to show up if she doesn't like his attitude. But nothing happens, as expected. He finally leaves, telling her to find him if she's still alive. Eugene exits the mansion and it's already night. The guide fakes a smile, assuming Eugene had a great time inside the mansion. He clearly didn't expect to be waiting until nightfall. But his fake smile turns genuine after Eugene tosses him a gold coin as a tip for waiting. Energized again, the guide offers to take Eugene to a great restaurant, but Eugene cuts him off, saying he wants to go to the Red Tower, and after that, he won't need his services anymore. They're soaring through the skies again, and Eugene asks the guide a question. He wants to know if the guide knows anything about Iode Lionheart, his older brother. Immediately, the guide gets nervous, saying that Iode is well known in the city. Eugene tells him that Iode has a connection to the Red Tower and has been living there for 4 years. He wants to hear the rumors about his brother. The guide hesitates, not wanting to offend Eugene or his family. Eugene notices and swears not to reveal anything from their conversation under his name. The guide begins, saying that it's rumored Iode seeks pleasure every night outside the Magic Tower. Eugene recalls that by now, Iode must be 19 years old and that he should be allowed to enjoy himself without being judged. But the guide adds that it's not just ordinary pleasure, it involves succubi. Once Eugene processes the idea, he bursts into a fury toward Iode. Still angry, he asks the guide why there are succubi in the city if they're supposed to be in Helmuth. The guide explains that the Black Tower doesn't only host dark mages, but also some demons. Eugene can't believe what Iode is doing. And to confirm, he asks if Iode is messing around with succubi from the Black Tower. The guide corrects him. He's not just fooling around, he's actively seeking pleasure. Aroth has an alley that's famous for its black market, where succubi offer their services. It's said that Iode frequently visits that place. Eugene asks for the name of the alley, and the guide says it's called Bolero Alley. He adds that it's not open every day. Only during full moons it transforms into a corrupted alley. Eugene gets furious. He didn't want to get involved with Iode while in Aroth, but he can't allow the eldest son of Vermouth's house to keep fooling around with succubi. The guide notices Eugene's expression and begs him not to say anything, but Eugene dismisses his concerns. He already swore under his name. He intends to teach Iode a lesson, but it's just a rumor. For now, he'll have to hold back until he has enough evidence. Eugene plans to visit Bolero Alley during the full moon, a near future, since after looking up at the sky, he sees the moon is in the waxing gibbous phase. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.